Hey everyone, welcome back to Gem and Cozy. Today I'm going to be sharing how I got started on TikTok Shop and what it's been like so far in terms of my process, how much money I've made, and how things have just been going in general as a small business and artist. I started TikTok Shop about 3 weeks ago, so I feel like I have a pretty good sense of what the TikTok Shop platform is like so far and the pros and cons of it. I'm going to be packing orders while I chat with you guys, so let's get started. So before I started TikTok Shop, my views were typically at maybe 300 to 500 per video, and that's not that much. Immediately after my application went through, I noticed that my views started going up to the thousands, and most of them were around 1,000 each. And that started even before I had sales. So the actual shop items weren't even up yet because I hadn't set up anything for the shop. But the fact that I got approved alone seemed like that gave me a boost already. It was kind of weird, but I noticed that the views would go up really quickly right after I would post it. So normally a lot of my videos kind of get stuck at, I don't know, 100, 200 views, and sometimes they don't even move up from there. But I noticed that the first few that I tagged with a TikTok shop item would go up to 1,000, like within an hour sometimes. And then I had a few videos that did go viral, and those all happened within the first week of using TikTok Shop. So I was really impressed by that. They're definitely pushing out the content. So even if you only put a few items up or put really low quantities up of everything, you can still get a lot of traction since it's their newest feature and they really want people to use it. And that was the main reason I wanted to use it. I know that that would be the new thing that they're pushing. So if you want an opportunity to kind of grow with whatever they're trying to launch, it's best to try out. So the very first video that I shared saying I'm on TikTok Shop got a pretty decent amount of views. I think it was over 10,000 now. And then I started to create bundles in order to make it easier for me to pack since I have a lot of stickers and products. Stickers are the easiest things for me to ship since they don't weigh that much, and because a lot of my stickers are outsourced now, I won't have difficulties packing them if I move maybe 20 or 50 of them over to the inventory for TikTok Shop. So it seemed like a good place to start, and the bundles did pretty well. A lot of people were interested in them already, and it also attracted a lot of new people. So the first few bundles that did really well were my introvert bundle sticker pack as well as my punny bundle. So I could really tell that a lot of new people were finding me through those pushed videos, and the nice thing was I actually got more traffic to my main shop than I did on TikTok, which makes me think, okay, these people actually are checking out my main shop, gemandcozy.com, over just my TikTok shop, which was really great. And I did start to get one or two TikTok shop orders, but honestly, it was never like an outrageous amount. I always had maybe like two or three for the first week or so. And then I think recently I've had a day where over the weekend I ended up with like 13. So that's the highest I've ever had. And you have 3 days to pack everything and get it to the post. So you don't want to have such a high inventory that you can't manage it. So I started off really small and even put my bundles for only like a quantity of 10. So at most I would have to pack 10 of those in a day, and then I can kind of just like keep up with the pace however I felt was best. But this also was a little tricky because I had multiple videos that were doing well on TikTok, but I also had a video that went semi-viral for what I would consider viral on my Facebook the weekend before I started TikTok Shop. So it all kind of snowballed in a good way. So the major benefits that I noticed right away was definitely the higher traffic. More people were finding me. My videos were getting way more views than usual, which is really, really exciting. and I just had more engagement overall, especially since I had a few videos that got 50,000 plus views, and then I had one video in my second week that got to, I think it's now at 200,000 views. So, and that really added up to a lot more traction and sales. It's really easy to utilize TikTok Shop also. I have the app on my phone and I have it on my desktop as well. Products have been really easy to list so far, and you can tag it directly through your shop once you have them up. I noticed that single stickers upload within a couple minutes. It's approved instantly by TikTok. And then some of my larger sticker bundles sometimes takes like a day for them to approve. It'll show up as a reviewing item. And something else I learned is that I have sticker sheets that are actually branded at the top, like it says gemandcozy.com. They will not approve that if they have your brand name on it. So I had to remove it off of my sticker sheets. And sometimes they get through, like my Invisible Ghosties for some reason. It has the gemandcozy.com, but that one went through for some reason. But the other ones always get denied. So that's just a heads up for you guys that you're going to have to make sure that that is not visible. Something else that you guys have to remember is that once you have a TikTok shop, you have to switch to the business account. If you have a business account on TikTok, you don't have access to a lot of the music and the audios, and that's because of copyright. So what they do is they provide you a music list that is already filtered for copyright, and that takes away a lot of opportunities for trending sounds. But I still feel like it's worthwhile to try out, because if you end up having a video go viral or you just meet a lot of new customers and people, then I think it's worth it to get on TikTok Shop, even if it's for a little while. TikTok Shop is also pretty easy and intuitive to use. Some of the wording that they use is a little funky at times, so it took me a little while to get used to it. But here you can see that I have two orders, and I can actually click both of them and print the labels together for it, or you can print the labels separately, whatever you want. They don't give you personal information, which is nice, and you can see the drop down of the items that they purchased all on one page. And then you can print the shipping label through USPS or UPS. Everything has tracking because that's how they track if you sent out the mail within 3 days. So this takes me to a frustration of mine, which I will talk about in a moment. I'm going to take you guys along with me. So I have the two orders here, and you can adjust the weight and the package size all in one location, which I really like. All of my sticker orders are in small envelopes, so I just set it at the smallest one, which is 5x7, and typically it's very thin, so it's gonna be less than 1 inch. And then the weight, I have to kind of do some math because I typically use ounces. They have it in pounds, so then they'll tell you which one is going to be the cheapest service. Then they give you your shipping options, and I think I checked a preference box when I first started that I want to use USPS, so they always give me the USPS option. So they're both good. It's typically about $4, just like this, and then I can buy the labels up here all at once. A lot of people will print the invoices along with the shipping label, but since my orders are so small and I try to be eco-friendly, I just print the shipping label and write a little thank you card, which is standard with all of my orders. So the really frustrating thing about the 3-day processing time is that if you have a lot of outgoing orders, you are probably going to have a few that get lost. And even though I didn't have that many, I had one that got lost, even though the other ones that I shipped during the same day made it. So that was really frustrating. There is a built-in chat system on TikTok Shop, which makes it really easy to communicate with your customers. And my customer was really nice. I told them that they could put in a claim with USPS since it's delayed, and I explained to them within the first day or two that I did ship their order. It's just not showing up because for whatever reason the tracking wasn't updated, and sometimes that happens. There's nothing we can really do about it. It's very frustrating, but it is what it is. I talked with TikTok Shop's customer service, which is really convenient. That's a huge plus that they have. Their chat is available every time I check it out. It's built into their shop like seller center, and I've never waited very long. There's always someone there and they can answer my questions. I do think that the quality of the answers ranges depending on the representative you speak to. I've had some who kind of took me in circles, and then I've had others who like really seemed to understand what I was asking them, which I really appreciated. But all in all, I was really satisfied with the fact that there is someone who is readily available to help you, and honestly, I was pleasantly surprised by that. Um, so I asked about what would happen in the case where this person doesn't get their order right away. So if the tracking number isn't updated to say that USPS has it within 3 days, then TikTok will cancel that order and they will refund the customer, which really sucks because you may still have that order delivered to them. It just might be delayed. So it's really important to communicate with your customers and let them know, hey, like this is what's happening. When you receive it, please let me know. And the representative told me that the chat would be proof if the customer said, hey, I received it, and they're able to basically reverse that refund charge and credit us for the order arriving to them. So I just printed those labels, and now the status will change to awaiting collection. Before it said awaiting shipment, which is when you know an order came in and you need a packet. So once it says awaiting collection, you have 3 days to get it to the post office. And what seems to work best for me right now is to scan it at the kiosk. I don't wait in the line because the line is always really, really busy and long. But I noticed that if you at least scan it at the kiosk, they don't guarantee that it means that it's an actual receipt of acceptance until it's like scanned by someone. But I feel like there is a benefit to it for some reason. I could be wrong, but every time I do it, it all makes it through okay. And within a day, usually the system updates, and on TikTok Shop, it says that it's in transit now, which means you're good to go. Also, something to be very careful about when you are packing orders is to make sure that you press the correct shipping option you want. There was this one time where I accidentally pressed priority mail instead of the ground advantage, and it looks like their system updated since, but I had to contact them and ask them, hey, like, is there a way for me to cancel the shipping label that I purchased and switch it to the cheaper ground advantage one? And they said I can't. So I ended up paying double for like a small sticker order, which is my fault at the end of the day because I pressed the wrong one. But it was weird because their system like had the ground advantage and the drop down as the first one consistently, and then all of a sudden for one of them it swapped and it confused me. But I found out that if you go to the shipping options section, you can actually turn off the ones you're not interested in. So I only have the ground advantage turned on, and that really helps me out. And I'll also explain everything to you. And I do admire that. There are some hiccups, but I do feel like it is a pretty good system so far. So I'm sure a lot of you guys are wondering, how do you get paid? So once your items arrive to the customer, you have to wait 15 days before TikTok processes a payment to you based on the bank account information you supply. So that's not too bad, but it is a little scary because it is like a new platform. I do think that TikTok definitely is prioritizing their customers because they really want people to feel safe shopping. And I totally understand that. It just feels a little daunting to sellers because you don't really know what to expect. So far, everything has been good, and I have a few payments that have been initiated to me, so I know that it is working. You just have to make sure that your bank information is up to date, and the money will kind of come in fragmented windows because everyone's purchases and arrival dates will be different. So it's a little different from something like Etsy or Shopify where you're used to just getting a lump sum of whatever you earned as a seller. This one is a little bit more sensitive to the customer, and I think it's supposed to really just help the customers feel safe shopping on TikTok Shop. So let's talk about what the process was like to apply. TikTok Shop has a pretty complex process to sign up for a shop. They need all of your information to background check, like your address, your business information, things like that. And it seemed really simple, but for some reason, they kept having issues matching up my information. And I think the main reason that happened was because I have a PO box and I use that for my business address, but that might be different on your credit card information, things like that, depending on how you run your business, if it's at home or if you have a physical location. So mine, I have a PO box. So I had to kind of figure that out because it was being very, very particular about my address information. But once I figured that out, it processed immediately. And usually within like a day, they'll tell you, hey, your application has been accepted or denied. And obviously, mine kept getting denied because I kept running into issues with the address. Oh my gosh, I don't even know how I got that out of that tower little corner. Trying my best, truly. I have found that the best way to make it work for me is to share a packing order and then share one item on there that you will find on my TikTok shop. So let's say I'm packing Sally's order right now and I put this sticker up, then I would say, oh, and they also got my strawberry gnome house. And then I'll tag that in the video, which is super, super easy. And then TikTok shop can do its thing. Hopefully, it'll send some new people my way. Once I figured that out, the hardest part that I ran into was making sure that my TikTok account and my TikTok shop were connected. That sounds so simple, but the directions they gave me for some reason really confused me. I don't know if I just like didn't understand it or what, but you actually have to use your little profile and use this like QR code scanning thing from your phone app, which I will show you a screenshot here, and then you're supposed to scan that QR code that they give you on your desktop to make sure it connects. And I just had the hardest time with it because I didn't understand the wording at first. Maybe I just didn't have enough brain cells that day, but I wanted to share just in case anyone ran into that issue. But once that part was done, it was smooth sailing. So I'm gonna be transparent and tell you guys how much I've made so far and what that looks like. So I've been on TikTok Shop for about 3 weeks now, and they'll break up the settlements like this. So in transit would be everything that is like traveling through USPS. So upon successful delivery, the orders will be settled based on the dynamic settlement policy. So they kind of have a way to divvy up everything. Of course, any returns, refund requests are going to be removed. And then the settlement in process would be everything that you've earned. So they have like very specific rules around it. It says here settlement amount will then be dispersed to your bank account in an additional 24 hours, and transfer can take up to 3 days depending on the payment provider. So far I've made $1,576.25, which is really amazing. $410 of that is in transit. And I want to see how many orders that amounts to if I can find a way to look at that. I guess I can look at completed. So I have, okay, well, there you go. So 62 have shipped, which means I have 64 orders as of now, which I think is pretty amazing considering all things. I went into this with no expectations, so being able to get a few viral videos out of it, as well as such a big boost, has been really awesome. So I believe that I have standard settlement. So that says that it's assessed on the 1st and 16th of each month, and that's delivery date plus 15 days for how fast the seller gets paid. So the settlement period will apply to sellers by default. And when will TikTok shops be assessed for settlement tiering? The 1st and the 16th. So here are my takeaways at the end. The benefits for TikTok Shop is definitely higher traction, views on videos and engagement. Their shop center is pretty intuitive and pretty robust. I like that you're able to print shipping labels directly from their system and that you're able to batch print a bunch of shipping labels at once and easily adjust the weight and the shipping to whatever you want. The cons include that you have a 3-day processing time, which is really tight if you have a lot of orders. Since I don't have too many, and also because I made my available inventory lower, it made it a lot easier for me to keep up with. But you do need to keep that in mind that your orders might get canceled and you might just take longer to get paid if those orders don't make it to the person on time. All in all, I feel like TikTok Shop is definitely worth a shot if you want to grow your business, especially if you are selling art and stickers, stationery like me. Even if you just put one design up, I think it can make a difference. I hope this video was helpful, and I will catch you guys next time. Take care.